Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
And welcome to Companies to Watch. And it's a bit of a special edition this time around because we are doing a bit of a report card check.
That's right. It's a mini challenge that Ryan and I had about 2 months back. We were thinking to ourselves, who might be a better stock picker? Is it Ryan or is it myself? So yes, 2 months in, and we decided that it is time for us to reveal the results. And here it is. So on July 1st, we're looking at how Meta and Spotify, they started off fairly evenly. Both had about, price movements within the low $700 USD range, with Meta starting out at about $719, while Spotify kicked off the competition at about $722.
Yeah.
So not exactly very far off.
Not too far off, but just to recap why I picked Meta, it was because of all the news around AI, which I expected Meta to really benefit from. Why do you pick Spotify again?
That was because I believe there was this collaboration with an artist back then. I thought it was building much traction. And then along the way as well, we've seen how, Taylor Swift's new album as well. That might have also been a huge player in terms of how its price has been moving lately.
And price hikes, did that play a part?
Certainly so. Price hikes as well, especially since how a lot of us would be seeing more expensive premiums to the Spotify premium. And yeah, I guess music moves us and it moves our money as well. But today, Ryan, it's time to review the numbers. Can I get a drum roll, please, right?
Oh, drum roll.
Okay. Meta sits at about $739, while Spotify around $682.
All right. What does it mean percentage-wise?
So in hindsight, Spotify is down 5.6%, while Meta is up 2.7%. And of course, we have Ryan as the winner for today's Companies to Watch edition. Well done, right?
Nice. All right. Not big win per se, but still win. Yeah.
It's still a win, of course. Yeah, in the matter of 2 months, you've got your stock price up 2.7%. Congratulations, Ryan. So let's dive into what were some of the reasons as to Meta has been seeing a rise lately. And it comes on the back of a stellar quarter. In its second quarter earnings results, they've reported, revenue of $47.52 billion. That's up 22% year over year. Earnings per share was up 38%. Daily active users increased by 6% to 3.48 billion. Although I have my, take on that. It might have been some of the bots they've been seeing as well. But these results do exceed expectations and sparked a 10% surge in the stock price. Now, investors were particularly excited about Meta's growing focus on artificial intelligence, as well as its potential to drive future growth. Now, CEO Mark Zuckerberg even introduced a new team dedicated to developing super intelligence that's aiming to push the boundaries of AI. So, Ryan, satisfied with the result?
Yeah, not bad. I think also a lot to do with, at least from my perspective, tariffs, where Meta does not really get affected by tariffs. So it's kind of insulated from the entire volatility in that sense.
Yeah, such a strange space to be in. But of course, no tariffs. It's good news for them. Additionally, Meta secured a significant $10 billion 6-year deal with Google Cloud just recently. That's enhancing its AI infrastructure and signaling a strong commitment to technological advancement. So it does seem like they're making some good steps and steady progress in the name of AI. Now let's move on over to Spotify's journey, which hasn't been all that rosy lately, having been down by about 5.6% about 2 months ago. Spotify's journey, in terms of its second quarter 2025 results, they reported monthly active users of 696 million users, up 11% year over year. Premium subscribers increased 12%. Revenue is up 10% year over year, while operating income stood at about 406 million euros. So, Ryan, what is the latest music that you're listening to lately?
Wow, V-pop.
Again? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still on the V-pop train, Vietnamese pop. Still a bit of Thai pop here and there. But I think the beauty of Spotify is the algorithm, right? It recommends you stuff that you have not discovered yet. Yeah. And it just goes on this sort of journey for me. Like you've got on this song, introduce you to another artist, and so on.
Yeah, certainly. And it also seems to be trying to at least customize to your taste in music and maybe even try to poke in a little bit of, exploration genres. dollars.
Okay. How are you?
Yeah. Myself, I'm
K-pop?
a little bit more into K-pop now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, okay, Ryan. But yes, while user growth was strong, Spotify posted about an 86 million euros net loss, primarily due to increased finance costs as well as currency fluctuations. That led to a more than 10% drop in their stock price post earnings, which is complete opposite of what we're seeing with Meta. And despite these challenges, Spotify still remains optimistic, announcing a $1 billion share buyback program that's aiming to boost shareholder value and, of course, demonstrate their confidence in their long-term strategy. So it does seem like a lot of these movements are largely influenced by these immediate news that we're seeing.
Yeah, a lot of the numbers from the earnings.
Yeah, and it doesn't exactly reflect how they're set to perform here, or at least in the near future. But to recap, what we've seen with Meta's strong earnings, AI investments, and strategic partnerships, that had certainly helped to fuel growth, not just in their business fundamentals, but of course their stock price, and just increasing some of this confidence within investors and people like Ryan, who see some good future ahead for them. Meanwhile, for Spotify, they still got quite a bit of a solid user base, but profitability challenges still remains one of the few challenges that they might have to address. Then again, both companies are navigating the evolving tech landscape, but at least for now, Meta's recent performance and strategic moves does seem to give it its competitive edge within this 2 months challenge.
Yeah, so I think challenge of Spotify is its ability to pass on costs, or at least hike prices.
Yeah.
So at what point will people stop being willing to absorb some of these costs? So it has to figure out how to add more value. And to that point, I think they've been trying to experiment with new features like, I think, videos.
Yep.
New podcast personalities as well. I guess the big question is, how much will we be willing to pay for Spotify down at the end of the day?
How much are you willing to pay, Ryan?
$15?
Yeah,
how about you?
Yeah, I think 15 is my limit as well, at least for a month. I don't see myself paying about 50 to 100 a month. That seems a bit of a stretch.
Are you on the premium tier without ads?
Yeah, I am on that.
Yeah. So I think that's part of the experience as well. A lot of folks are trying to grapple with the number of ads that are appearing if you're on the non-premium tier.
Certainly so. And perhaps, if the tariff continues to affect us and, of course, in many aspects of our life, it might also result in us tightening our purse strings, which also in turn may just suggest that we might be saving a little bit more on these expenses. But big takeaways, earnings do matter at the end of the day. Strong financial results can significantly impact stock prices. Strategic partnerships and collaborations with big companies like Google Cloud and Meta's deal, that can enhance growth prospects. And of course, market reactions, even with strong user metrics, profitability concerns can certainly affect investor sentiment within the near term. So yes, the verdict for today would be Mr. Ryan Huang, who has won this competition.
Another
Well
round of
done,
applause.
Ryan. Okay, and that would pretty much wrap it up for our analysis of today's stocks in focus, Meta and Spotify. Now, Ryan, here's some fun facts about Spotify. Do you know how the name came about, Ryan?
I imagine Spotify has something to do with sports.
Something spots? Okay. Okay.
Music spots.
Okay, well, do you think it's a combination of two words, Ryan?
I can't figure out what's the other one though.
What can you spot? Okay, but anyways,
spots,
yeah, close enough, but it's not exactly the result of two names. But according to Spotify founder Daniel Ek, he wrote that back in 2006, he and his co-founder Martin were sitting in different rooms shouting ideas back and forth, even using jargon generators and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Martin shouted a name that Ek misheard as Spotify.
Oh.
So then Ek Googled the name and saw that no one was using it. So a few minutes later, he wrote that they registered the domain names and off they went. It's kind of cool, huh?
It's kind of cool. So it wasn't actually even Spotify, it just heard or sounded like Spotify.
Yeah, it was a name that was misheard of. And it turned out to be one of the biggest companies that we know today.
Oh, okay.
So in what order do you play classical music songs?
From soft to loud?
No, Bach to Bach. And that's all we have for Spotify and Meta.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.